I just wanted to finish off by saying that I've added my terms together, or my polynomials, by combining like terms. So adding and subtracting polynomials, adding and subtracting polynomials is basically combining like terms. Which you've been doing for years. Okay, it's an 8th grade standard, it's a 7th grade standard, it's a 6th grade standard, and it's an algebra standard. So if you need to refresh on combining like terms, let me know. I'm going to start a new page. All right, so we did an addition problem. Now let's talk about subtraction. So again, I want to first see if I have like terms in this expression. So I'm going to start with my n to the second power. So I've got an n squared here. I've got another n squared here. Okay, then I've got a constant here, and I've got another constant over here. And last but not least, I have an n term that doesn't have a partner. Okay, so before I can combine like terms, just like last time, I want to get rid of my parentheses. So I have to do any distributive property that I can see. Now this time I've got a special thing because I've got a subtraction sign in between, which means I am multiplying -1 throughout the entire context of that second polynomial. So this becomes positive 4n squared plus 5 minus negative 2n squared plus negative 2n minus negative 4. So notice each time I added a negative to each of those different terms in that second polynomial. So we're going to recall that subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. Adding a negative, you know what that is, and then another subtraction of a negative. So this is adding a positive. So now that I've got all of those terms simplified as best I can, I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to start with my reds, or my n to the second power. I have 4n squared plus 2n squared, which gives me 6n squared. Then I have, actually, I'm going to actually go to the plus negative 2n. And that's because usually in standard form, you keep each of the terms in the polynomial in order of exponent. So my n term should come before my constant term. If you put the constant term first, it's not a big deal. Like if you put 9 first, I don't care. It's just if you're writing in standard form, then you want to keep the n's first and then the constants last. So that should be my expression as soon as I subtract everything. Again, this is just combining like terms, okay, which you have learned and you've been doing for a very long time. So the next part is going to be multiplying binomials. And you might recall seeing things like this. So x plus 2 in parentheses and then x plus 5 in parentheses. There's no indication of multiplication, but we remember that one of the ways that mathematicians write multiplication is by combining two things that have parentheses around them. So this should be a little hidden multiply sign. So the way that you've probably learned it is called FOIL. So we're going to start with FOIL. And FOIL stands for multiplying the first terms, the outside terms, the inside terms, and then the last term. So we're going to start by multiplying the first two terms together. So these two are the first terms in each binomial. So basically we draw a line. So first terms, x times x is x squared. Okay. Then we go to the O in FOIL, which stands for outside terms. So they're the most outside terms. So this x is the furthest to the left, and this 5 is the furthest to the right. So we do x times positive 5. Which is positive 5x. Okay, next is my inside terms, so the ones that are closest together, closest to that multiplication. That's going to be my positive 2 and my x, so I multiply those. And then that becomes positive 2x. And last but not least, my last terms, which is going to be the last terms in each binomial, so the 2 and the 5. So then I go 2 times 5, which is 10. So then I've multiplied this polynomial, and I can combine like terms. So this becomes x squared plus 7x plus 10. And this is my multiplied form of those two binomials by using the FOIL method.